Hey guys, so I'm making this video to document some issues I had with my rough country lift on my Pioneer. So this lift kit, they say it's a 3-inch lift kit for 2016 to 2022, basically every Pioneer 1000. And I put it on mine, ran it for about 6 months, and I noticed some squeaking, and then I realized it was starting to bend. So take a look at how this front bracket looks, right? It's got a little bit of curve here, but this part is straight. Okay, that's important. But also, let's look at their description for this lift kit. Durable? No, it's not. And as it says, it's a full 3 inches of lift, which is bullshit. I only got about 1.5 inches of lift out of the front. So it's not a good lift kit to begin with. I contacted Rough Country about it, and I sent them a form, basically a complaint form, and they said, since you did not order directly through us, there's nothing I can do. We do not have a record of your purchase in our system, even though I sent them my exact order from Amazon, who's one of their retailers. We have to go by Amazon's policy to return this. Number one, I don't want to return it. I don't want another one. I wanted to make you guys aware that you're selling something that's potentially dangerous, and I wanted my money back. So thanks, Misty. Thanks for nothing. But here's what I noticed when I was looking at mine. So I went underneath it, and I saw that it was starting to contact the plastics. I didn't remember seeing this bend down here. It's a better picture. Yeah, you can see it's really digging into the plastics here. So I'm like, man, that doesn't look right. So I went ahead and pulled the lift kit off the machine. All right, so here's the bracket lifts off the machine. First thing you'll notice is there's some bending. They used to be flat. Just by torquing the bolts down, they did bend a good bit. This metal's really just too thin for how skinny they made it here. Now, the real problem is, if you look at on the workbench, if you look at the distance from here to here, it's about 1 inch more than there was stock. So for the factory, I don't think anything's bent from here to here. This had like a little bit of curve up to it, but this bend right here all happened after install. And if you look down, you can see they're starting to warp a little bit. Basically, if you're going to make a bracket lift like this, you need to either increase the thickness or don't go so skinny right here, or use some better metal. But this definitely got pushed past its elastic point and started to bend pretty good. You see the big bow in this one? So yeah, good thing I caught this. What would have happened if I kept running it was eventually they would have weakened enough to fold, and then my shocks would have come through the hood and it had messed up my shocks, maybe my lower arms, and of course ripped through all the plastics and wiring and everything else. So that's why you got to look over stuff a lot. Luckily, it started making a squeaking noise once it started to bend because they were rubbing up on the plastics. So they were hitting like up in here, and I was able to figure out what was going on. Yeah, look at that bend right there. That is lovely. Let's check the other one. I'm just glad I caught it before it was a real catastrophic failure. But it did seem like I was losing ride height, and that's because this is the shock mount. That's where it bolts to the frame. This kept going up, which means it was lowering the side-by-side the more it bent. Yeah, real disappointed, Rough Country. I run a lot of your winch mounts. I think that actually might be a Rough Country winch mount. I run them on the Talons and stuff too. Won't be doing that anymore because your customer service sucks. You don't stand behind your products. Everyone knows, you know, it's cheap stuff, and they try to use as little metal as possible to save shipping costs from China to here, etc. But, you know, if they work and it's cheap, okay, great, whatever. But when they don't work, you guys need to either, you know, take care of your customers or redesign the product. So I'm sure they'll do what everyone else does. They'll redesign the product based off my feedback on YouTube, and they'll never even give me another one or do anything like that. So thanks, assholes. All right, give you an update, though. Don't run these shitty bracket lifts.